There's a major crisis in the RP community.
It's not masculinity.
It's not a lack of intelligence.
It's not money.
And it's not fitness.
It's friendly fire.
We've turned on each other. You see, over the last few years, men in this community have declared war on one another.
Men are slandering each other,
making personal information public,
and even doxing each other.
This is flat out wrong.
The world does not care about men.
It doesn't value our intellect.
It couldn't care less about our plight.
And it sure as hell doesn't care about what we contribute.
So this community was created to give men a place to go for help.
Help with money,
fitness,
help with how to be a true gentleman,
dealing with life as a veteran,
taking their place as head of household,
and even assistance with coping with divorce.
And for a few years, things were awesome.
Men banded together to help one another.
We were thriving.
We were making real progress.
But something changed along the way.
Our egos somehow got the better of us.
We've become envious of one another.
We started throwing around wild accusations.
We started calling each other grifters,
doing hit pieces on one another.
And eventually, the message was lost.
Gentlemen, we are no longer a unified community.
Every other week, there's a petty disagreement.
This creator falling out with that creator.
And he copied me. Oh, he disrespected me. I said that first. He started charges for his products?
He's a fraud.
He should do a response video. Wah.
This ends right here.
And right now.
Welcome to the Conference of Masculine Excellence. This event will serve as a new beginning for our community. We are going to show men the true meaning of masculinity.
We'll discuss the importance of family and fatherhood.
We'll talk about fitness and why it's the cornerstone of every man's foundation.
We will discuss how to deal with things like PTSD and depression.
We'll teach you the importance of financial shrewdness.
We'll talk about how to avoid the wrong type of women,
how to select the right woman,
how to strengthen your mind,
and much, much more.
Yeah, we will talk about sex and relationships.
That's a given.
But we're focusing on becoming a complete man.
A man that is strong physically,
mentally,
and spiritually.
Yes, most of us found this community because of women.
And hey man, it was a few women for me.
What are y'all talking about, man? I'm undefeated.
Shit, I'm not. I've taken a lot more L's than W's.
All right, let me stop the cap. I've taken plenty of L's.
But many of us understand that it's not all about women.
In fact, it's quite the opposite.
This doesn't mean we don't want women.
Because trust me, we most certainly do.
But we're gonna show you why it's important to follow the advice of the Godfather himself, Rollo Tomasi.
And that is to make yourself your own mental point of origin.
None of us are perfect.
Far from it.
Yes, we have all made mistakes in life.
We have all made bad decisions. We've all had our hearts broken.
We've all been broke.
We've all been through some shit.
But our goal is to teach you how to avoid these pitfalls so that you can become the very best version of yourself.
Yes, we will have disagreements from time to time.
But in the end, we are all on the same team.
We're in this together as men. And this is how it starts.
The inaugural Conference of Masculine Excellence will usher in a new era in this men's community. And from here on out, we're going to do things differently.
No more infighting.
No more friendly fire.
No more hit pieces.
No more response videos.
And no more public feuds.
If we have a disagreement, we handle it behind the scenes, man to man.
The way it's supposed to be done.
And it's as simple as that.
Now more than ever, men need each other.
In the end, we are much stronger united than divided.
So join us to revive a once thriving men's community that focuses on its original purpose, helping men to become the very best versions of themselves. Thank you.
We made it through the past year. That's a miracle in and of itself. This came about. That's a miracle in and of itself. And a lot of planning and a lot of vision went into this. So you are in for a treat this weekend. A lot of you came here to be inspired, to learn, to gather data. Some of you have wounds that are going to be touched and healed. I don't mean to make this sound like church and me sound like a televangelist, but everyone is here for a reason. You're going to walk away with something. You know, when I spoke with Dr. Robert Glover, he sat in the audience of a conference that I went to and took notes on every speaker. And he said he writes down 2 or 3 things that everyone says. He walks away with a nugget from everybody. One of the best ways that you can maximize your experience at a conference is obviously to take notes, but focus on those couple nuggets from every speaker that takes the stage and transcribe it to one sheet. And that way, you're going to have some gold when you leave here. My name is George Bruno, if you don't know, and I will be emceeing the event and also doing interviews. And I am so happy to see all you guys here. I'm going to bring up some people that you might know, some that you might not know. The first is Zach Small. Give him a hand. I believe he flew in from Rhode Island, is it? Yes, sir. All right. Phil Foster, Dallas, Fort Worth area. How you doing, Phil?
Doing excellent, George.
Excellent. I wouldn't expect any less. Texas Dom. I've had the pleasure of knowing him since 2018. Good guy here. When did you arrive?
This morning.
This morning? All right. Excellent. Tailored Carnivore. He's looking good here. You ready for this weekend? That's great. Hotep Jesus. Great to have you here. Who's next? Anthony McLearino. You're in for a treat here. First time on a stage, is that correct? At a men's conference?
Yes, sir.
Great to have you here from Long Island. Any Long Island people here? All right, cool. Terrence Pop. Look at him acting all humble. I guess his number is up to, what, 366? Is that what it is? 366. You know what that means? There are 366 men who have communicated with him that his message saved, literally saved their lives, and they didn't put the gun in their mouth. Give him a hand. Thank you, sir. From Chicagoland, Coach E.O. You're in for a real treat. We're happy to have him here. Excellent. Aaron Clary, you know him. Come on, Aaron. I keep saying you're in for a treat, but you really are with everybody. It's amazing. Sterling, come on up. I have no idea what he's going to talk about. Good to have you here. And the guy who had a vision to make something happen, to create positivity in the men's community. And we're here because of him. And I want to thank you. Give a big welcome to Donovan Sharpe. I'm going to turn the mic over to Donovan.
All right. Wow. I think the last time I was really nervous was, I want to say, was it Labor Day of 2017 when I first decided to show my face on YouTube? Now, the main reason I decided to show my face on YouTube was really not to gain a following, but was to more or less show people that, yeah, I really am black. Right? That's what I got, like the first, I don't know, 150, or I'm sorry, the first 95, 97 episodes. Donovan, you're awesome, but we think you're a white guy. So, not that I haven't heard this before, right? Obviously. So, Labor Day 2017, I decided to show my face for the very first time. And the growth has been pretty staggering ever since. Now, about 6 months later, YouTube shut down my first channel. This was totally my fault. This is totally my fault. And we can all talk about censorship and what's fair and what's not. But when the world shows you that it's going to do certain things, you have one of two choices. You can either adapt or you can give up, right? So I decided to adapt. Decided to clean up my language a little bit, right? Gave it another start, and now here we are. So things continue to grow a little bit, right? I'm still writing articles, and Roosh is probably not gonna like me mentioning his name, but thank you, Roosh. Without Roosh, I'm not here. That's all there is to it. So shout out to Roosh Valizadeh, Roosh V, one of the OGs of the Manosphere. Let's give him a hand. So then I was a part of a certain panel of a certain color, call it red, and eventually got invited to another convention. Brilliant stuff, it was great. That really wasn't when I decided to do this. When I decided to do this, I remember having a conversation with Ryan Stone. Shout out to Ryan Stone, R-I-A-N. He'll text me later. I remember the conversation I had with him, I think it was before episode 312. I said, you know what, I remember when our biggest detractors were women, feminists, right? Anita Sarkeesian, Jezebel, et cetera, we need to get those guys shut down. Those were the good old days. We loved it. We loved it. Stop spreading your misogynistic message. No. No, I'm not going to, and you can't make me. We love that. That's sort of what that banded us together. Well, I don't know, fast forward maybe another year and a half, 2 years, and all of a sudden, the feminists and other women kind of fell silent. I looked around, okay, well, do we have any detractors? Well, the answer was yes. And that comes around to my conversation with Ryan Stone. Just like George said, in that unbelievable trailer put together by Blake. Give that guy a round of applause. Holy crap. George Bruno said it himself. We're no longer a unified community. Hotep Jesus said every other week there's a petty argument, a petty disagreement, right? Now, guys, listen, man. The world doesn't give a fuck about men. They just don't. Yes, there are some people who do care about men, but by and large, the world doesn't give a shit about us. That's fine. We're men. We're built to handle this. This is what we do. This is our masculine burden of performance. Being a man in this day and age is kind of a thankless job. It is what it is. But we need each other. We need to stick together. And when we start attacking each other, over seemingly petty bullshit, the message gets lost. You got two kind of people who are consumers. You got people who want to be educated, and then you have people who want to be entertained. Now, in this business, as we're all very familiar with, and yes, this is a business, in order to get your educational message across, you do have to be entertaining. This is just part of the business. Am I a little bit more theatrical when I'm making certain points? Of course, right? Like, we understand that. You guys understand that. We're men. We get that, right? But when we start attacking each other, again, the message gets lost, and now we start becoming clowns. Rollo Tomasi, shout out to him, he says, guys are just looking for red meat. And listen, I'll be honest with you. I'm not gonna say that I don't like watching internet beefs from time to time, right? I may sign in on another account and go in there and egg them on a little bit, right? I mean, all in good fun, all in good fun. But then, when you got people out here doxing people, giving out our government names, where to find us, and all this other kind of stuff, that's when shit gets dangerous, right? Now, most of these people, they're cowards, but all it takes is one. All it takes is one idiot to find us and do something. Now, fortunately, that hasn't happened. My guess is because I'm 6'2", 240, no one's gonna fuck with me, right? At least not these keyboard warriors. And if they did, my bodyguard will take care of him, not because I can't, but because if I catch another charge in this county, I'm going to jail for a while. That's the reality. That's the reality. I'm a count 'em, 4-time convicted felon in this very county. I've been arrested over 24 times. And there are those who would call me a career criminal, which means I'm not qualified to be up here. And to that guy, I say, fuck you. Now, you can only take the high road for so long, right? Right? You try to be professional. I've got the suit on, all this and that. And in the end, that's really what this is about. It's about helping men. But what became my reason for putting on the CME wasn't what it was at first. I just wanted to get together and hang out with a bunch of people, but a bunch of my friends. But then I decided, after attacks on who we believe is the godfather of the manosphere, for the better part of 2 years, I said to myself, you know what? I cannot, in good conscience, let that guy be the representative of who we are. Couldn't let it happen. There is no way. This guy's a wannabe Donald Trump. He's obviously got some sort of a mental issue. Oh my God, Donovan, you shouldn't address him. Oh, but I will. The point is, guys, is we can't have leaders like that. I'm nobody's president of the manosphere, okay? I'm just a guy who happened to have the contacts and the resources to put this thing together. And listen, if I'm being honest, the manosphere, it's a better community when it's decentralized, right? But when there's decentralization, there can also be fractures, also factions. You've got your MGTOWs, you've got your thinkers, you've got your red pill guys, you've got your pickup artists, you've got your black pill guys, right? Now, we all believe 99.9% of what we talk about. We all agree on just about everything. The solutions may be a little bit different. I may or may not be talking about inanimate sex objects. But if that's what people want to do, to each his own. I'm not throwing shade, I'm not throwing hate. But what I will not tolerate are people throwing stones at us. Listen, man, if you're a woman and you don't like what we're talking about, that means we're doing it right. If you're a man and you don't like what we stand for, there's something wrong with you. This is about masculinity. This isn't about misogyny. Oh, you guys hate women. No, I love women very much, quite frequently in this very county, many, many moons ago. No, This is about bringing men together. Do I agree with everything every one of these men up here talk about? Of course not. Of course not. But there's no need for us to be divided on the 1% of what we disagree on. And if we actually, I don't know, get together and talk about it like men, we might actually find common ground. That's what being a man is all about. It's not acting like you're a man, putting out people's personal information, and calling yourself some fake president. And so, I guess to put a bow on this thing, I think I did this a couple of days ago. Yeah, you're impeached, Mr. President. You're fucking done, dude. That's all there is to it. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All jokes aside, I cannot tell you, I cannot tell you how unbelievable it is to stand up here, and right now. Never in a million lifetimes would I have ever dreamed of putting anything like this together. And the reason I'm able to do this has very little to do with me. I was just the guy in the middle, right? Guys like Blake, the most brilliant frickin' whatever he is in the universe, his wife Keena, right? And then of course there's Devin. Now listen, man, Devin's taken a lot of slings and arrows, whatever. She built my website. She built the app that everybody checked in on, right? Give her a hand. Come on. A lot of guys like to say, Devin is post-wall, bro. Need to get a woman half your age. Yeah, women half her age know less than half of what she does. She's not perfect. She's no unicorn. She's no snowflake, right? She's my woman, and we happen to work very well together. So let's give Devin a round of applause. Again, please. Later on, she's gonna be like, oh my God, that was so sweet. You know what I'm gonna say? Don't get used to it. Absolutely. I'll end things on this opening night by, again, thanking everyone for being here. You guys spent a lot of money to be here. A lot of you guys are a long ways away from home, right? Shout out to Minister Jap. Give him a round of applause. Panelist of the 6. Woo! And he is not gonna like it when I do this. Shout out to George Kellis. Shout him out. Stay tuned for a hit piece on George in 24 hours. Right? Who else do I need to thank? I can't see anything. Let's see. Hang on a second. What? Oh, is that Myron? Myron, get your ass up here, man. God damn it, I didn't even see his ass. All 6'6" of them. Myron Gaines of the Fresh and Fit podcast. Oh, by the way, they just cracked 225,000 subscribers. Give him a hand. Woo! Myron actually used to call into my show, and now he has more than double my subscribers. It is what it is. No, I'm no kingmaker. The reason why Myron is where he is the same reason why we're all where we are. Because he works hard, and there is one thing that he can do that most people cannot. This man is able to get multiple women in the same room at the same time every night. Give it up! What the Fresh and Fit podcast is, that is the manifestation of what we have been talking about for a decade and a half. Hypergamy, all women are like that. Branch swinging. I want a guy who's, well, basically Myron Gaines, right? I want a guy who's, all the 6s. 6 feet tall, 6-pack abs, and a 6-foot dick, right? And these girls, night after night after night, confirm red pill truth after red pill truth after red pill truth, and they can't seem to get enough. It's almost like, oh my God, these guys are calling us out, and wouldn't you know it, they keep coming back. So shout out to Myron and Fresh for what they've done. But I guess, again, to try to put a bow on this, thank you guys very much for coming out. I hope that this is the first of many CMEs. Gosh, I can't really think of anyone else to thank. Oh, Thank you to Mr. George Bruno, who is the only person who can add a level of class and sophistication to this event. When I got a hold of him, I knew that the game had changed, so give him a round of applause, please. But most of all, thank you guys. Thank you guys. Without you guys, there is no Myron Gaines, there is no Zach Small, there is no Donovan Sharpe. Without your support, none of us would be up here right now. And I think a lot of creators tend to lose sight of that, right? Well, I'm the attraction. Well, okay, maybe, but not so fast. You guys are the reason this community exists. Okay, so you're one of 228,000, probably 30,000 subscribers on the Fresh and Fit podcast, but you make a fucking difference, and don't you ever forget that. Thank you guys for coming out to the inaugural Conference of Masculine Excellence. Hopefully we can change some lives, we can improve some lives. All of the speakers, we are all at your disposal. Grab us, have conversations with us, ask us questions, pick our brains, do all that stuff. But most of all, guys, love one another. We are men. We have to band together. Men need each other. No man is an island. No man is an island. I am living proof of this right now. You cannot do it alone. A lot of men think they can do it alone. One person is about to find out he cannot do it alone. I am not one of those people. Thank you. Annual Conference of Masculine Excellence goes down October 13th through 15th in Miami. VIP tickets are sold out, but standard and virtual tickets are still available. Go to masculineexcellence.com for details.